December 21st, 2025, Phoenix, Arizona. Russell Brand walks into Turning Point USA's Amfest, or Kirkchella, or Loser Fest, as I like to call it. He takes the stage, major applause, the crowd is cheering, the cameras are rolling, and the content machine hums. 2 days later, British authorities announce new charges: 1 count of rape, 1 count of sexual assault, and 2 more women. Alleged incidents from 2009 that bring the total to 6 women, 7 charges, a decade of allegations. But here's the thing. Turning Point USA already knew all this. When they booked Russell Brand as a featured on their main stage guest, he was already facing 5 criminal charges: 2 accounts of rape, 2 accounts of 1 count of incident assault. Alleged offenses spanning from 1999 to 2005. He already pleaded not guilty in a London court earlier in 2025. A trial was already scheduled for June 2026, expected to last at least 4 to 5 weeks. They knew all this and they put him on the stage anyway. Jesus, am I right? And real quick, I'm Loren Piretra. Please take a moment to subscribe, share this video with a friend, turn those notifications on, hit that notifications bell, and hype this video because I need to have more subscribers than Katie Miller, who is married, very much married to Stephen Little Bitch Miller. Because none of this Turning Point Kirkchella USA booking was ignorance. They didn't even make an oversight. This was a calculated decision by an organization that claims to stand for traditional values, for accountability, for truth. They looked at a man facing multiple rape charges from multiple women across multiple years, and they said, that's our guy. Put him on a stage. Let's get the NRA in here too. Why? Because Russell Brand has followers. Because he has conspiracy theory content that generates millions of impressions. Because controversy drives engagement and makes shitty people feel seen. Engagement drives more revenue. Because in the world of Turning Point USA, Loserfest, Kirkchella, the only metric that really matters to them is in their bag. And let's be clear about what these charges represent. 6 women. Allegations spanning from 1999 to 2009. That's a whole ass decade. 10 years of reported incidents. There aren't like vague accusations or social media rumors. These are formal criminal charges brought by the UK's Crown Prosecution Service following an 18-month investigation, serious enough that prosecutors are preparing for a month-long trial. Brand himself has denied the allegations. In a social media video after the first charges were announced, he said, "I was a fool before I lived in the light of the Lord."
Hello. Firstly, thank you for these incredible and overwhelming messages of support. We're very fortunate in a way to live in a time where there's so little trust in the British government. We're very fortunate, I suppose, that this is happening at a time where we know that the law has become a kind of weapon to be used against people, institutions, and sometimes entire nations that will not accept and tolerate levels of corruption that are unprecedented. I'm speaking particularly to those of you that are watching this in the UK. How do you feel about your legal system right now? How do you feel about some of the high-profile cases that are not being pursued and prosecuted? How do you feel that the Southport murders were handled? How do you feel about the government of Keir Starmer? Now, that's just sort of general context. I've always told you guys that when I was young and single, before I had my wife and family, we're just about a shot over there, my beautiful children, I was a fool, man. I was a fool before I lived in the light of the Lord. I was a drug addict, a sex addict, and an imbecile. But what I never was a rapist. I've never engaged in non-consensual activity. I pray that you can see that by looking in my eyes. I want to thank all of you for your continuing support. I want to let you know that our show will be on Rumble on Monday. Thanks for your support there. And of course, I'm now going to have the opportunity to defend these charges in court, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. In the meantime, you lot, stay free, and we will be continuing to discuss this matter. Praise the Lord.
Heard that one before. He'll have his day in court. The legal processes will unfold, innocence until presumed otherwise in a court of law. But that's not the question here. The question is, why would an organization that's all about Jesus, that wraps itself in the flag of Christian values and American morality, choose to platform somebody on main stage who's in this position? What message does it send? Here's what it says. It says, we don't actually care about allegations. We don't actually care about women. We don't even care about the legal process or the seriousness of these charges. We care about one thing. Does this person drive traffic? And he does. His YouTube channel mixes wellness content with conspiracy theories, with religious discussion, which feels very on brand for Loserfest. He's built a massive following online after dropping out of mainstream media. He's controversial. He's polarizing. He's exactly the kind of figure that generates the outrage, rage-baity engagement that this organization like Turning Point USA feeds on. And that's their whole model. Platform rapists frame any criticism as, oh, this is cancel culture from the left. Let's monetize that outrage and make Erica Kirk richer. Let's rinse and repeat. The cruel irony is that many people who've attended these conferences maybe genuinely believe in something. They maybe come seeking faith, maybe community, maybe purpose, maybe some friends, or a sense of belonging to something larger than themselves. Then they're told they're a part of this movement, fighting for the truth, fighting for traditional values. But the organization they're supporting, it just put a grapist on stage, somebody who's facing trial for grape in 6 months, not because they don't believe them or because they've examined the evidence and because they can look past that because his engagement numbers are good. And controversy sells tickets. Imagine being one of those 6 women. You've come forward, you've gone through an 18-month investigation, violating as hell, and you're facing the prospect of testifying in a months-long trial against a rich, famous person, and the legal system is slowly, painfully moving forward. And then you see the man you've accused getting cheered at on stage at a major conservative loser fest, Kirkchella, being treated as a thought leader, being platformed as somebody with valuable insights to share, being welcomed by an organization that claims to care about God and Jesus and morality and justice. What does that tell you about how seriously your allegations are being taken? What does it tell you about what these organizations actually value? 2 days after Russell Brand's Amfest Kirkchella Loserfest appearance, the new charges dropped. 1 count of grape, 1 count of assault, 2 more women. Alleged incidents from February through December 2009. He's due in court January 20th of next year, 2026. Turning Point USA got their content. They got his brand on their merch. The merchandise sold. The social media impressions tallied up. The donations drive some more money to Erica Kirk. And 6 women wait for June 2026 when their accusations will finally be held in court. But by then, America Fest 2026 will probably be in the planning stages. The speaker lineup being finalized. Maybe they can get the ghost of Jeffrey Epstein. The sponsorship deals are being negotiated. The next controversy and the next grapist is getting invited. Because this is how it goes. When you build a movement manufactured on fake rage bait and freedom complex, actual accountability just becomes another thing to monetize. Serious criminal charges, especially when they're against women, just become another opportunity to claim that you're being canceled for standing with controversial figures. 6 women, 6 human women, and allegations become irrelevant compared to engagement metrics. This isn't about conservative versus liberal values. This isn't even about politics. This is like, be a decent fucking human, and about whether organizations that claim they love Jesus and God and being good actually care about platforming people who face multiple grape charges, about whether engagement numbers and tickets should outweigh the seriousness of sexual assault allegations. Turning Point USA made their choice. They looked at Russell Brand's legal situation and said, yeah, book him. Book him. This is somebody we want to represent our movement. This is somebody we want on our stage. This is somebody whose presence aligns with our values. So what are those values exactly? When you strip away the flags and the freedom and the NRA stickers, the rhetoric and the claims of standing for the truth and accountability, what's left? The bag. It has always been about the bag. Russell Brand faces trial on seven counts. He has, keep going, pleaded not guilty. The women's identities are protected under UK law. Turning Point USA did not respond to any requests for comment on their speaker from any media outlets that I could find. Nothing about their vetting process or the decision to platform him while he faces these charges. And the conference was considered a success. Attendance was strong. Merchandise sales exceeded expectations. And they're already starting to plan for 2026. And if you think we should have less assholes in positions of power and media authority, make sure you follow me and subscribe to me and elevate this channel. It takes all of us to call out this bullshit.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.